Is the Bahamas on track to phase into a livable wage for private sector and government workers? That question arose after it was announced that the country's minimum wage increased from $2.10 to $2.60 earlier this month. Tonight, an executive in the Department of Labor, Quentin Laroda, answers that question while explaining his role in the process. Here's that report. Earlier this month, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis announced the rise in minimum wage from $210 to $260, which sparked the conversation of whether or not the increase is enough, and some questioning how the government arrived at that figure. Well, an executive manager in the Labor Department, Quentin Laroda, explains the process that led to the increase.
We did the research looking at how people come up with minimum wage and what's the best minimum wage to implement, what are the factors and indices that you should use. The research was extensive, and based on that research, we made our recommendations to the government. And during our research and also the consultation done by the chair with other groups, we found that almost everybody across the board saw that there was a need to increase the minimum wage.
Now, since the Prime Minister's announcement, there has been some concerns that the increase could lead to price gouging in stores or companies possibly downsizing because they can't afford to increase workers' pay. Laroda says the NTC and the government has evaluated every aspect of the increase and its impact on the private sector and government employees.
In our research, we found that about 25% of the workforce will be impacted by minimum wage. And so after 25% of the workforce, a huge percentage of that, between 15 and 18%, are government employees. And so we also saw that the impact on the private sector would not be tremendous. So there was no reason not to move hastily to have it implemented. And we thought this was the right time.
Bahamians have debated about minimum wage versus livable wage with the state of the country's economy and have questioned the possibility of another increase in the near future. Laroda confirms that the NTC is working closely with the government, and this increase is only the first step in the direction of an economic livable wage.
The increase in minimum wage was only a first step in heading towards what is a livable wage. The University of the Bahamas has done some work on a livable wage for Grand Bahama and New Providence in particular, and we have gotten that research from them besides some of the other things that we have done. It's the livable wage and all the metrics involved are extensive, and so the work on that continues.